Succotash is a food dish consisting primarily of sweet corn with lima beans and other shell beans. Other ingredients may be added, including tomatoes and okra. I'm opting not to put the beans in this dish, but I'm gonna add a host of other fresh vegetables, and instead of using brown rice pasta or whole grain pasta, I'm gonna be using white rice. So let's start by chopping the vegetables. By the way, guys, I'm also gonna be using 3 different camera angles today so that you guys can get a sense of being here with me in the kitchen. You guys ever notice that healthy eating takes a lot of chopping and cutting? So this is what I have here for this healthy succotash rice thingy, all right? I've got some diced up onions, and I just diced those a little while ago. And then I've got, let's take this plate first. Carrots. You know what? Let's take a look at what I just did to prepare all of this for you. I washed 1 large carrot and then scraped the skin off of it and then cut it into long slices like this. I guess this is called julienne, or maybe like matchstick fries. So I just want to go ahead and cut these as thin as I can get them to go without cutting my fingers. So 1 carrot is enough for the amount that we're going to be making. And then I took care of the okra. Belize people say okro, and I think people from the Caribbean on the whole says okra, but in America it's okra. So the okra is frozen, but I've thawed it a little bit because it makes it easier to cut this way. And I just cut off the tops and the bottoms and then cut it into chunks. Now you can leave the tails and the heads on if you like, but I don't like to see how it looks in the dish. So I chop all of that off like this and then just cut it into, I guess, bite-sized pieces. Pretty easy so far, right? And then roughly chopped some onion. This is a half of a small onion. And then I'm going to go ahead and peel off these outer shell of this head of cabbage and then just wash it and slice off some. And then go ahead and roughly chop this. Quite a bit of prepping, right? All right, and we're back. So we've got all the vegetables here, and of course you can put other stuff that you would like. We're gonna need corn. So I got whole kernel corn in the can, and we're gonna need the juice, the water too, all right? 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna put some turmeric or yellow ginger in it. You need 1 lemon. And don't do it if you don't have this, because this is the secret ingredient, all right? You're gonna need some type of hot sauce right here. And this is rice that's cooked since yesterday, and it's cold and hard, and that's like the perfect rice to do it with, all right? So what we're gonna do is slice up these tomatoes, but let me wash them first because I didn't wash them when I propped them here just now. One almost escaped me down the sink. So all you want to do is just slice these up like this. I got this knife when I helped a friend move. Tuck your fingers in, all right, when you're cutting. Especially the little ones that watch my show. If you want to make this for mom or dad, tuck the fingers in. Fingertips, I mean. If you hear heavy breathing, it's our dog Wednesday. Take a look. She just got a bath and a new bed, and she gets angry when we bathe her. So she's like... All right, so normally you would use frozen corn, but because we're using it from the tin, we don't need to put that in yet. So we're gonna put in all the stuff that takes a while to cook. So let me grab the onions and put these here. These ones are softer, so they go in later, okay? Now you can do this with brown rice pasta. You can do this with healthy pasta like whole grain pasta. You can do it with brown rice. I don't do brown rice. I'll make brown rice for you guys in the future, but I don't eat brown rice personally because it makes me sick to my stomach. It hurts. So let's move over to the stove where I'm going to put some olive oil in my pan. Take a look. Put some olive oil. A couple tablespoons, thereabouts. And I have a nice stainless steel pan. And the winds are howling outside right now where I live. So you might hear it through the stove hoodie thing here. All right, so let's move over to the stove. First thing we're going to put in okra. or the okra, all right? I believe people say okra. One thing with making this dish, you're not going to be able to walk away from the pot, all right? You're going to have to stay here and stir fry it. Let me show you my cameras. This is the Canon PowerShot ELPH 340HS, and Joshua's using the Canon G7X Mark II, and on the stand I have the Canon Rebel T3i. A bunch of you have been asking what cameras I use, so there you go. These are the cameras that I use. So let me go ahead and grab my mushrooms from the fridge, and then take this over to the counter and get this opened up. I didn't tell you guys that I was going to add mushrooms because this is totally optional, all right? So these take a little while to cook too, so we want to put these in shortly after these two. But this needs to cook a little while longer to cook the slime out of the okra. Let me open my corn. I'm going to be using the juice from the corn, and if you were doing pasta for this dish, you would use the starchy water from the pasta, but I'm not doing pasta, so I'm just going to use this water right here. And again, give it a stir. So we want to make sure that this is cooked until the slime is cooked out of the okra or okra. The person that taught me how to make this said that's called the rope. You're cooking out the rope. So I've added in the onions, and I'm just continuing to work this here. Look, the fire is on medium to high. Now I'm just adding the kernel corn. I've used all the juice. Just continue to stir this. And then now I'm going to go ahead and add my salt, only 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of the turmeric or yellow ginger, and then the mushrooms, because these take a little while to cook. Give this a good stir. And of course the lemon. Now I'm going to remove as many of the seeds as I can, and then squeeze it through my fingers so I can get the rest of the seeds, because you know lemons are notorious for their seeds. I've heard that the difference between a lemon and a lime is that a lime has no seeds. Is that true, guys? Can you comment and let me know? Now some hot sauce. This is some Belizean hot sauce, of course. Give it a stir. Look how happy I am when I'm doing the show for you guys. Now here comes the cabbage and the tomatoes, because these cook pretty quickly, so I added them in last. Just work this in, because the last ingredient is going to be the white rice. And by the way, I did not cook the white rice with any type of salt. It's just rice and water. So the salt that I added to the pot already is going to be more than enough, all right? The rice is cold from the fridge, which is the best way to do it. Just give this a quick stir. And then the only thing left to do is plate this. So I'm going to take it outside, of course, to do my thumbnail, but I'm going to plate it first, of course. Let me go ahead and just put it in this beautiful dish and just pile on the whole thing. It smells pretty good. It's looking good. And the turmeric that's in here is an anti-inflammatory, so this is a really good dish to make if you're trying to cleanse the body and get back on your eating program after all the binging that we did over the holidays. So I'm outside now doing the thumbnail. It seems like the wind doesn't want to stop blowing in my neck of the woods. Take a look at the platter. This is so easy to make. Of course, if you were eating meat, you could chop up some beef or chicken or even shrimp in this, alright? But this is meatless. All the vegetables, all the rice. I love the mushrooms. If you don't like the mushrooms, don't put them. The okra is a part of this dish. But if you don't want them, you don't have to put them in either. My kids don't like the okra, but I love it because it's a really, really good form of fiber. Of course, the yellow ginger or the turmeric or the curry powder, whatever you want to call it. So I decided not to put these peppers. At first I was going to add some of these peppers. I decided to omit them because I already have the turmeric and the hot sauce. So I don't want it to be too hot. So now remember, if you are seeing me on Facebook and you haven't followed the page yet, please consider following the page so you can know when I put up another video. If you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you can know when I put up another video. And of course, like, share, and comment. So let's dive in. Ooh, I got a little bit of everything. Ooh, look at that heat. Come on, Joshua, show it like a mukbang. Yeah. See all that smoke? I hope the camera picked that up. Okay, we talk. The first thing that hits you is the lemon. This is good. I'm gonna sit down and eat a whole bowl of this for my lunch. Bye, guys. You know, guys, sometimes I like to show what we're doing. So I'm taking this camera off of the dryer where it was just now. And then I'm gonna put it up here. I don't know if you can see me from there. Make sure the straps don't show. Make sure it's propped where it won't fall.
That camera is going to fall.
Shut up. Shut up, Josh. Move this here. Okay.
Oh,
Ready?
it fell.
Ah! You guys, normally, you can start this camera.
Okay.
Normally,
Oops,
I
blurry.
mean, show my shoes.
Blurry.
Show my shoes.
Blurry. Okay, good.
Okay, normally I'm only with socks. So you know how they have that woman called the Barefoot Contessa? I'm the Socks Contessa. But right now, I decided I'm going to be all professional for the second day of the new year. And I'm just going to wear shoes. So the first thing we're going to put in, say hello to my mother.